Hello, Year 4, rowing class. We have in maths today efficient multiplication methods. Okay, so this is to avoid us basically relying on a written method like the short multiplication method. These are all mental strategies that you can do. We're going to be writing them out today, possibly drawing them out if that helps you. There are going to be 4 or 5 different strategies today, so please don't feel overwhelmed if they become a bit too complicated. Maybe just choose 1 or 2 and apply those to the questions at the end. But it's all about using facts that we know to help us answer the trickier questions. Okay, so let's just begin with this. 6 times 1, 6 times 10. 6 times 2, so what's 6 times 20 going to be? 6 times 3, what's 6 times 30 going to be? And then you have some quick subtraction questions, some doubling, and some halving, skills you're going to be using today. So 6 times 1 is 6, so 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 2 is 12, so 6 times 20 is 120. 6 times 3 is 18, so 6 times 30 is 180. 60 take away 12. A strategy that I would use is I would take away 10, then I would take away 2. So 60 take away 10 is 50. 50 take away 2 is 48. 150 take away 10. I could do 15 take away 1, which is 14, and then add my 0 on there, 140. Doubling and halving. Yeah? So let's look at 6 times 8. What methods could you use to calculate 6 times 8 if you did not know the answer? You might be able to just go 48. Amazing, brilliant. That's fantastic. But today is what we call a maths mastery lesson. It's all about being able to explain how you got there, what 6 times 8 actually means, what it looks like, how many strategies you can use. That's what would be the most impressive today. So 6 times 8 is 48. That's fine. We could, like we've done before, use our array method. Absolutely fine. I could draw 6 lots of 8 or 8 lots of 6. I could use that method, number 1. What you could do is you could actually partition. So we could do, instead of 8 times 6, we're a little bit more confident probably with 8 times 5, because that's our 5 times tables. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Easier to do that than to count up in our 6s. So 8 times 5 is 40, and then I need to add on one more lot of 8. So 40 plus 8 is 48. Okay, let's see what this person did. He said 6 times 8 equals 2 times 3 times 8. So that's going back to that method of multiplying 3 numbers. 2 times 3 times 8. He also said double 24 is 48. This method, I think, to be honest, looks more confusing than what it needs to. If that doesn't fully make sense and you struggled a little bit with multiplying 3 different numbers, maybe bypass this one. That's absolutely fine. What he did, though, was he did 3 times 8 is 24, and then all he had to do was times it by 2. So he doubled it. That is also fine. So 6 times 8 is the same as 6 times 2 times 4. So 6 times 2, 4 times. We know that 6 times 2 is 12. So then we can do 12 times 4, which is 48. Another method that we have there. Now we're getting back into the strategies. I prefer the first one personally, and I like this one. So this girl did 6 times 10 because 8 is close to 10 and it's a nice multiple. So 6 times 10, most of you will confidently be able to tell me is 60. 6 times 10. She's just drawn a couple of extra arrays there, just as a visual way to show you. And then what she did, she knew that she had 2 lots of 6 too many. So she subtracted that. 60 take away 12 is 48. This girl here knows that if you double 2, you get 4. And if you double 4, you get 8. So she just used her knowledge of doubling. Another method that I really like. So here we go. Double 6 is 12. So that would be 6 times 2. If we doubled that again, double 12 is 24. So 6 times 4 is 24. And if we doubled it once more, that would give us 6 times 8. So 24 times 2, double 24, is 48. So double, double, double again. Okay. Another method. I know I'm rushing through these. Please, for each question, if you want to, just rewind the video and have a look, or try and use any previous knowledge that you've done before. This person here says that if you double one factor, one side, and half the other, the product, the answer will stay the same. So if you double one factor, let's double one side, let's double the 6 to 12. So I can half the other side. Half of 8 is 4. That gives me the same calculation. You might be confident with your 4s. So 4 times 12 equals 48. Okay? Let's have a look. Same again for 5 times 28. Lots of different methods. See if you can maybe pause the video and just use one of those methods. 28 is quite close to 30. It's entirely up to you what you do here. I'm going to carry on going through. So we have the answer. So what we could do, we could use the partitioning method. We could do 5 times 20 and then 5 times 8. So 5 times 20 is 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And 5 times 8 is 40. 100 plus 40, 140. Shown there. We could use this method again. I'm going to bypass this for now. I think if you understand it, fantastic. If not, let's try and use the ones that are probably a little bit more simple. This one here, this was the person that doubled one side and halved the other. Halving 5 would be quite tricky. So why don't we double that? We could do double 5 is 10 and half of 28 is 14. 10 times 14 is 140. A lot easier than 5 times 28. All about those related facts. Same again for 6 times 15. We could double 15 to give us 30. And we could halve 6 to give us 3. And now we have 3 times 30. Okay, all related facts. How about using this method here? This is where the girl times it by 10 and then subtracted what she had left over. So we could do 5 times 30 because that's really close to 28. 5 times 30 is 150. Let's get rid of the 2 lots of 5. 5 times 2 is 10. So 150 take away 10 is 140. Okay, I'm going to move on past these now. Don't feel like you have to use a visual method or a pictorial method every time. Try to explain the method that you've done though. If there's only one you're confident with, use that every time. If you really want to test your learning, try to use all of the different strategies. This is all about fluency and looking at the numbers you're confident with and finding ways to calculate answers other than just putting it in a method. So we're not relying purely on writing things down. So I'm going to put your questions on the board now, and your answers I'll respond to because it's been quite a long video. So there's question 1. Question 2. Again, choose whichever method you want to help you. Question 3. Read it carefully. It looks complicated just looking at the question, but actually when you read the information, it should become a little bit easier and more accessible. Question number 4. Try to do as many as you can. Don't do any more than sort of 30 minutes, 40 minutes work after watching this video. And then the challenge X. Okay? Good luck. Break this video down into small steps if it helps you. Even if you only complete 2 of the questions, that's absolutely fine. Just try your best to understand the different approaches to multiplication. Good luck. Have fun. Bye-bye.